Hello and welcome to Computer Class Online. My name is Dave and today we are talking about the introduction to Google Slides and how to utilize it. So when you spawn into Slides, right here is the interface. You have this little arrows at the top just like in Docs, and you press on those. You can see all of the templates, which we will come right back to this and click on this one in a second. But for now, we're just going to start with a blank presentation. Um, what you can do is you can search your presentations A to Z. You can see it in a list view, or you can open a file that's existing in Drive. If you click on the three dots, you can hide all the templates. And that's pretty much it. You click on a blank presentation to start out with, and you get spawned into the Google Slides interface. So right off the bat, what you see is you have the themes panel that opens on this side over here. And on this side, you have your slides panel that opens, which again, if you have more than one slide, you can just, here, I'll just hit the plus button. If you have more than one slide, you can switch them around. Here, I'll actually add text, that way you can see I'm switching them. Okay, so if you have text on your slides and you're moving them around, you can see that they switch. This is how you do it. You could also copy a slide by doing Control C, Control V, and there you go. You've made a duplicate of it. Even right-clicking, there's a lot of options for duplicating. Right now, this is just a quick overview, though. So across the top, we have File, and basically that presents everything about that you might have to do with a file. So if you want a new presentation document spreadsheet, there it is, open one. If you want to import some slides from a different slide presentation, if you want to make a copy of this entire presentation, kind of almost template, making a template out of it. If you want to email it, or if you want to download this presentation, you can download it as a Microsoft PowerPoint, which is super helpful if you have to use it just on a PC with no internet connection. Maybe you want to download it as a Microsoft PowerPoint, or maybe somebody only uses PowerPoint on their machine and they're just stuck in their ways. You can download your presentation for them as PowerPoint. You have ODP, just a open document PowerPoint presentation format. You've got PDF document if you want to download your slides kind of as something that's unchangeable. No one will be able to touch it, and that stands for portable document format. You can download your slides as plain text if you just want to have your notes for the presentation. You can download it as a JPEG your slides, so it'll actually be a pixel image. You can download it as a PNG, so it will be sort of a more web-based image. And again, JPEG stands for Joint Photographic Experts Group, and PNG stands for Portable Network Graphic. And then you have your scalable vector graphics. If you download it as that, you can basically, it's a vector graphic, it can and resize infinitely via math. So that's kind of nice. All of these are downloadable formats. Again, JPEG, Joint Photographic Expert Group, and PNG, Portable Network Graphic, Scalable Vector Graphic as SVG. All three of those are super helpful when knowing the web and graphics to be able to download those as things. For instance, how you might use a JPEG is if you download a slide as your download the first slide of your presentation, you set it as the background of your computer. Then when you're presenting on something like a projector, you would just use extended screen, and it would always, even if you close your presentation, have that first slide as the background. So an example of why you might need to export it as any of these two right here. And then of course, if you were to use it as maybe a logo or something that you've created in this presentation, yes, you can make logos with PowerPoint and slides. It's kind of interesting. Make available offline. That's pretty self-explanatory. Version history, you can see and go back to a previous version of the document. Rename, move it around in a different folder in Drive. Add a shortcut to Drive. Move to trash. Publish to the web, which is super helpful if you want to create a presentation that goes into Chrome Slide Builder. Something people use on, they'll stick these Chrome sticks in the back of TVs, and they will assign presentations to that TV, and maybe like an organization where all the TVs are connected together. So that's pretty cool. You'd have to publish it in order to do that, or you could just have it on a website, maybe embedded as a iframe. So that's super helpful to be able to publish to the web. Document details, the language, you could change the language of it. Page setup, click that. This, I want to explain these real quick because you've got several ones here, but you got standard 4x3, and then you've got 16:9, and then 16:10, or you can custom. So what these are, they're screen sizes, and for a lot of people who present, maybe it's a projector from back in the day, which is a legacy projector. It would be 4x3, or basically the projection would actually be a square. And so you have to change the page setup to reflect that, and it'll squint your slides a little bit, and you'll have to design your slides from the ground up for that format. So it's best to pick it in the beginning. That's why I'm kind of explaining that with the introduction here. But yeah, you definitely want to pick your 4x3 if it's an old projector and everything is going to be square. But if everything's going to be normal, it would be 16:9, which is kind of a widescreen look. If you have an extra widescreen projector, then you do 16:10. Or if you have one of those like wraparound projectors that are really huge, yes, Slides has the ability to do that. You could do like 16 times whatever number and do a custom size and create this really, really long, awesome looking slide, if that makes sense, for whatever size projector you might have. I'm going to leave it to 16:9 because that's typical. This is what everybody typically creates. All right, so that's kind of, oh, and of course you can print the slide as well, which I don't understand why you really need to print these unless you want to see your slides, which again, you can export them as text, so you could just export them and then see them, not have to print them. But anyway, I don't understand the purpose behind printing. I've never printed slides. I don't get why people do it, but whatever. All right, so that's what this area is. You have file, edit is some features where you messed up or something like that, or pasting things. View, different modes, inserting things, dropping uh, tables and shapes and things into your document. We'll talk about these as time goes on. Format, aligning the text or making it evenly spaced, duplicating slides and different things, arranging the order, having to do with things being on top or bottom, and then some tools and add-ons that you can get, and also some help there from Google Slides. Now, it should be noted that just like in Docs, depending on what you click on and add, so if I add a shape here, for instance, you will see things change just a little bit in the menu area sometimes. So not always, but sometimes. There's also like a 3 dots here, and you can get more extended features that you don't normally see. Okay, so that should be noted there. Also, down here at the bottom, there is something called speaker notes, and those have to do with what you could just type, and then when you hit present, they will show on the screen of the presenter as something you can read. So again, you wouldn't have to print off your slides. You could just type your notes down there or copy them in from a Word document or a Google Docs document, or any type of document, literally. And then you could just, have it down there. And then this is the Explore button if you want to go get information about your slide presentation. Okay, now it also shows that it was last edited seconds ago and that it's saved to Drive, which is what the cloud little thing says. You can also move it from here, star it, title the presentation. Here's the presenter button. You can present from the beginning. You can present to another screen. That's if you have the ability to do that, which apparently I don't. You can share it. And you can put different tasks on your calendar, Google Keep, or your task panel there. So that's kind of a broad overview of Google Sheets, Google Slides. I keep saying Sheets. It's Google Slides. Don't get that wrong. Google Slides. Slide in to slides. But anyway, that's basically how you create a presentation. And again, this is the new slide presentation. It works very similar to PowerPoint, and we will be talking about it in upcoming weeks. But for now, this has been an introduction. Hopefully you learned something, and I will see you in the next video.